Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. A first carry now. This is Johnson. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. From the gun, Kaiser. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. The first down carry here for Johnson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Come on, let's go. Ryan 38.
Second down, Kaiser. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
3rd and long for Kaiser. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the return will stop right around the 25. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Watson, escaping the pressure right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
Richmond. Reset.
Off the bootleg, Watson. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Wolfe in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Out of the gun, Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he stopped immediately there. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Come back.
Now Watson off the bootleg. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Target. Come back.
From the gun, here's Watson. Buying time to his left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And not the clean start that we had envisioned. You thought this would be a pretty crisp game, but a turnover for a turnover.
Yeah, so much for scripting. Because if teams aren't doing that, things aren't going according to plan. Maybe it's a case of nerves. Maybe it's a case of, too much energy right now. Let's see if both teams can get settled in and start to play good ball.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Kaiser now. Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about it. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on off.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup, 55 yards. The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. On 1st down, Watson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are in for 6. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Play action now. Kaiser steps away to his left. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
First down, Kaiser. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. On second down, Freeman. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face a third down. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Ball. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. On second down, Johnson. A beautiful fake. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Here's Kaiser. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Kaiser now on second down. Quick catch, complete. It's Cannon. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call.
Flex round! Flex round!
Kaiser from the gun on third. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down. And now the Texans want to call another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This one from 35 yards away. Oh, that's offline. He hooked it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Watson on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Following the interception, Kaiser got his man complete over the middle. That's Sutton. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Kaiser now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Final play of the half. Kaiser forced out to his left. Looking deep for Demarius. Got his man. It's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demarius Thomas as time expires in the first half. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'll be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Being chased out left. Going deep for Hopkins. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. He hops over into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. On play action, Kaiser. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Demarius Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is up to 8. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Reset. Tiger. Richmond.
Here's Watson now on second down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. Oh, now he rolls him over. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal of the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. Kaiser, 3rd and goal, and that is incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make it.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Now a 1st down throw. Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
To throw is Watson. To throw on 2nd down. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Reset.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
A first down throw for Kaiser. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Kaiser on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
Tiger, tiger, tiger! Reset, reset, reset! Come back, come back! Come back, come back!
After the interception, here's Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. He's got his target. It's Cobb. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 31. On 1st down, it's Watson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Richmond.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Caught by Cobb. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a 2nd down throw for Kaiser. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun, Kaiser. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script. From fourth down to first. Kaiser now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Second down, Kaiser. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Target. Richmond.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Shane Leckler now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
He'll look to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Come back.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this.
It's one of them ones, man. You just in the car, man. It's like when you in the car, you just think about everything, man. Definitely when you by yourself and you just cruising on the highway, man.